Recently, Wladimir Klitschko was asked about the pro-Putin propagandists in the United States, people like Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson. And surprisingly, the question came from Eric Bolling, who is also a right-winger. So let's take a look at how that conversation went down.
There's some very popular television hosts, Tucker Carlson. I talked about a popular Candace Owens as well. Conservatives who would typically, I don't know why they're not supporting you in Ukraine, but they're not. What do you say to those people?
If you passively observe what is going on, and we do share the same principles of freedom and democratic principles, like the United States, like the Western world, so to speak, if you passively observing, you're part of this invasion. Blood is on your hands too.
So he accuses them of having blood on their hands. I thought it was an interesting question. His answer was fine. I would have liked to see a little more focus on the fact that people like Tucker Carlson are being utilized by the Russian state for their propaganda purposes. The fact that his segments are being used in Russia for propaganda tells you everything you need to know about the perspective that Tucker is bringing to the table.
Yeah, so this is among the 1,000 reasons why I believe in and advocate for free speech. So yes, there are lines. If you threaten physical violence, that's not part of free speech. But a lot of times people say, "Oh, shut down the other side." You know, the right wing says burn their books. Some of the left wing say don't let any of those guys speak or platform them or whatever. But look, now all of a sudden there's a real divide in the Republican Party and among conservative commentators. So Eric Bolling is in the Sean Hannity camp of traditional Republicans, and they have 1,000 problems, and we fight them. And I've done, I don't know, a dozen videos about how terrible Eric Bolling is. But all of a sudden, here they are calling out Tucker Carlson, a fellow conservative. And us calling out Tucker Carlson is effective for people who are either on our camp or in the middle. But for the right wing, it doesn't work at all. You could say things that are indisputably correct about Tucker Carlson, and the conservative reaction is blah, 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 right? But if Eric Bolling says it, it becomes a little bit more interesting because they're used to watching the platforms that he's on. They're used to agreeing with him. So there's no question that Bolling threw Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens under the bus there, and he did it on purpose because he doesn't agree with them. And he's probably both frustrated, confused, and maybe even angry that they are openly supporting Putin, which is a weird and insane thing to do. I would say even more so for a traditional conservative. So they've got some real disagreement there, and that's great to see. That makes for a healthier conversation. Now, the more important person obviously here is Klitschko. His brother's Vitali Klitschko, who is the mayor of Kyiv, so a very important position. They both decided to stay and fight. Wladimir decided to join the Ukrainian army and very physically fight back. And so, of course, he's gonna call out anyone who's supporting the Russians and letting the Ukrainians die. And the more support the Russians have, the more they're encouraged to kill more Ukrainians. So, look, I kid around about getting in the ring with Joe Rogan or whatever, but the right wing is often serious about that stuff. If they'd like to step in the ring with Klitschko, I'd pay to see that, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'd love to see. I mean, Tucker had no problem doing Dancing with the Stars. Maybe get in the ring with Klitschko. I'd love to see that. That'd be fun. It'd be really fun.
Yeah, I mean, look.
Anyway,
Steve Bannon and Tucker Carlson are two biggest fans of Putin in America, right? And you got the two Klitschko brothers. I know our right wing is super tough, super alpha. I'm sure they could take him. Go get him, guys. See how that turns out for you. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.